One of the most interesting case studies that we have is an outdoor application. It's actually a parcel terminal where the customer selected the display. It was a cheap display. They tested the display, and actually it worked in the, let's say, laboratory environment. They put it into the chamber with the low temperature to -20. Then they went up to 50 degrees. That is like maximum they expected. And they tested that the display is fine. But actually, they didn't see and didn't notice that the temperatures will be higher. So the glass actually that they have, the TFT glass that they selected, as I mentioned, was a cheap solution, was specified with the 0 to 50 degrees only. So it shouldn't be used in the outdoor environment. But as I mentioned, customer tested and said, oh, it's fine. Even with -20, the display worked well. So it was, let's say, a gambling by the customer on the low end of the spectrum, of the temperature spectrum, which was, let's say, won by the customer because the display worked. But on the other side, with the high end, they put the machines outdoor, and when there was a summer, actually they noticed that the displays are having an issue, and the issue is called blackening, or like blackout of the screen, where we have the liquid crystals going into the isotropic phase. So when the liquid crystals are in the right, let's say, phase, we call it nematic phase, and we can control them with the electrical field, and we have the image on the screen basically. But when the temperature go higher and higher, the liquid crystal become isotropic, and it become like a water, let's say. You cannot control the light anymore, and the display simply is not working. This problem was that the glass was only up to 50 degrees, and because of the sun, the surface of the screen was heated, and they later tested it up to 90 degrees actually. So with this, it was impossible for the simple display to work. And that was our chance, and we jumped into the project. We discussed with the customer, and we selected the other type of the glass that was Hi-Tni, which is high temperature nematic to isotropic phase that can work even up to 85 or 110 degrees on the surface. And by changing the technology of the liquid crystals, we were able to use it and solve the customer problem. Yeah? And then he can send his device all around the world without having this issue anymore. We can discuss now another issue for outdoor application, because there are many outdoor applications right now that are booming and growing, like I mentioned before, parcel terminals, etc. And some of these devices or vending machines are required to work remotely completely, so without the main power supply. If we have no stable power supply, we have only batteries and maybe solar panel on the roof, we are able to put the machine wherever we want, but actually we are restricted with the power. On the other side, we have the high brightness display that require a lot of power to work and to be readable. So how do you make a machine with the readable display, but at the same time with the low power? So the solution here is most of our, or all in our displays, we have separated power for TFT display and the backlight, which is like high power consumption, and the touchscreen, which is a low power. When we have the remote machine with the battery, we can pretty easily switch off or dim the backlight of the display, and then reduce power consumption to even 0 on the display side if we completely switch it off, and then make the touchscreen working. And touchscreen will require typically like a few milliamperes, or like a little bit more than 10 milliamps for work in the standby mode. We are used to right now to touch screens, and if the device is, let's say, switched off, like the screen is switched off, like your tablet or phone, typically we are very used to that. We need to tap the device, yes, we need to touch it, and then the backlight will be bring. So this is a very easy way to marry these two together, that is a low power and high brightness display that are on the opposite side, yes? If you find this topic interesting and maybe you are planning to build an outdoor device, the easiest way to start is to go to our website and select standard product that will be 1000 candela. This is our standard IPS high brightness display series with any interface or size that you want, and then just simply test it. But if you would like to know more, or you are in a design phase of your device and you will like thicker glass for waterproof, or make sure that the device will work with the water drops or with the gloves, or anything related to the outdoor application, please contact us through our contact form, and we'll be very happy to discuss your application and possibilities of our displays that you can place in your device. So thank you very much, and see you in another video.